Let's talk about exploitation, about triple exploitation. The exploitation of humans, the exploitation of children, and the exploitation of a very specific child who is the main character on a family vlogger's YouTube channel. Let's talk about Della Vlogs. Della Vlogs is a channel run by Bella and Dallin Lambert, a husband and wife duo from Arizona, from the United States. Bella is the co-founder of Origami Owl, a company that sells jewelry and is now part of the parent company Think Goodness that also sells makeup and skincare. Think Goodness is owned by Bella and her family. At the age of 14, Bella started to sell custom-made jewelry and then turned that business model into an MLM, into a network marketing company, together with her mother, Chrissy Weems, since she was underage. And that is where the exploitation of humans comes into play in network marketing companies, because network marketing companies are extremely predatory. Most people who join network marketing companies have not unsubstantial cost involved, either by purchasing a starter pack with products or a business kit to then be allowed to promote for the company, mostly for free, until they're able to either sell the products or until they're able to recruit people into their team, their downline, and then to be able to profit off of the efforts of these people as well. Product-based MLMs are modern-day pyramid schemes. They're not always illegal, but in my opinion, for sure unethical, and a driver for most people to lose money, as per the FTC, and also the income disclosure statements from the individual network marketing companies if they decide to publish them. Only the people at the top of huge teams are able to make a profit because they benefit of the expenses from their teams and their efforts. But the people at the bottom who don't have a big team, they pay into a system and lose money. And that is by design. That is how network marketing companies, that is how MLMs work. Beyond that lovely business model that I just described, run by Bella and her family, Origami Owl is especially predatory because it not only aims at humans, but specifically at children. It aims at the exploitation of children in their young entrepreneur program. Here, children between the ages of 11 and 17 are encouraged to start their own Origami Owl businesses to sell the jewelry as well. The parents are encouraged to sign their children up as market partners and encourage them to sell the dainty jewelry or the charms at school, a perfect breeding ground for MLM exploitation. As a parent or as a guardian, you can sign up the child to Origami Owl and you're legally and financially responsible for the child until it reaches the legal age to run their own business. That is mostly 18 years in most countries. Our Young Entrepreneur program is how you can experience this unique partnership with your child too. Youths age 11 to 17 can join the community with a Think Goodness brand partner to build their own businesses. Not only does this spread goodness, but it also helps them gain valuable business and life skills to empower them to impact their own lives and the world for good. In an industry where most participants lose money, no, you're not spreading goodness. You're spreading the exact opposite. In network marketing, most participants, according to the FTC, end up in debt. And to encourage parents or guardians to exploit their children to work, either as a child worker and to spend money and lose money, try to recruit other children, then that is absolutely wrong. Children are very likely the perfect target group for this type of MLM to host jewelry parties, for example, and try and sell customizable stuff like locks and charms, necklaces or bracelets. Especially the charms, they're very popular in the company, but in order to throw those parties, the host needs to stock up on the products and they need to hold inventory, the chains, the charms, to then present to other children, to their friends. That means that Origami Owl does encourage children to stock up on products, to hold inventory, and to then throw jewelry parties with their friends in the hopes to sell to them, with no guarantee that they will be successful. I call that exploitation of children. But of course, you can go even further, because if you throw those parties and the little party guests are excited about the jewelry and they want to start their own business, you can also conveniently recruit them if their parents and if their guardians are okay with this. So you can sign up children as your downline. With a starting cost of $199, the kids end up in debt very likely very quickly if that money is not being covered by their parents. And the company also has a lot of Disney items, which is probably also very interesting for a young demographic. And why, you might ask, is that the approach of Origami Owl? Because at the tender age of 14, Bella dreamt of having her own car. To achieve that goal, she and her mother Chrissy started a company that would grow to touch the lives of millions of people worldwide and eventually become what, thank goodness, is today. Bella's mother, because I mentioned her here, has quite the history herself when it comes to exploitation. That's an additional reason why lots of people do not like Bella or Della vlogs, because of her connection, which might seem unfair because you're not responsible for your family or for your family's actions. And just because your mother is a terrible human doesn't mean that you necessarily are too. But to me, it seems like a character trait that the exploitation of humans, specifically of children, is okay within that family, so I do understand that type of criticism. Chrissy, the co-owner of Thank Goodness, helped a pedophile cover her tracks. Yes, I'm not joking. In 2011, Chrissy pleaded guilty to computer tampering for hiding evidence in the case of Susan Brock, an Arizona woman convicted of 3 counts of sexual conduct with a minor who Chrissy Weems then had mistakenly felt was innocent of the charges. A spokesperson for Origami Owl confirmed. She was sentenced to 1 year of supervised probation. Yeah, you heard that right. Chrissy, Bella's mother, was sentenced for destroying and altering evidence in the personal email account of the boy that Susan Brook, the P, has molested over a 3-year period. I stumbled across Della vlogs because of a video the Dad Challenge podcast uploaded to his channel. He typically speaks about family vloggers, about child exploitation, but when I recognized that this individual is actually the one who runs a network marketing company that kind of combines the worst of both worlds, if you will. On my channel, I predominantly speak about anti-scam, anti-MLM content, and I was surprised to see that this individual, in addition to running a sketchy MLM company, is also in charge of a vlog with millions and millions of followers. Hello, by the way, welcome. I'm Christina. I'm glad you're here, or welcome back if you're not new to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Della vlogs, so let's dive back into actual Della vlogs and what they do on YouTube. This is a channel run by Bella and her husband, Dallin. Get that? Della? Bella and Dallin, yes. They have a big YouTube channel. Years ago, they ran that one as a prank channel where they uploaded weird, very likely not funny pranks, because most of them are not funny. And then they ventured into vlogging and they were sharing their lives with the public. They have a massive audience at this point with 3.7 million followers. Bella and Dallin have been married for 7 or 8 years now, and they struggled to have a baby. That was also something that they very openly spoke about on their channel. They tried infertility treatments, they had multiple failed IVF treatments, and they documented that on their channel.
Okay. I do feel like we've always shared a lot of our life with you guys, but there's been a big part of our life that's been weighing on our shoulders for a long time, and Della doesn't even know I'm making this video, but I just feel like I really want to share this because I hope that, if anything, it can help someone else who's going through this, because this is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, and I wouldn't wish this upon anyone, but basically, for the last 3 years, me and Dallin have been trying to have a baby. It's been a big part of our life the past, I would say, it's been 3 years, but the past 2 years we've really dedicated all of our time into infertility and trying to figure out what the problem is and trying to just get pregnant and doing all these different things and home remedies and going to different doctors, and nothing has worked, and it's just been so hard for us because all the we just haven't known what we want to share, if we're ready to share, how we're feeling. I don't know when this video is going to go up. I just felt it so strongly on my heart today, especially, that I just need to finally share my story and just get it out there, because I feel like I'm at the point where I just I feel alone, and I feel like I know there's so many other people who are going through this and who can really relate to me, and I want to connect with you guys. If you're going through this, like, please send me a message on Instagram, because this is so hard. And
with the upload of those types of videos, they were able to grow their channel to about 1 million followers, which is massive, which is huge. After many failed attempts, they decided to then stop IVF, which can be severe, can be very, very harsh on the body and highly emotional too. And they looked into adopting a child. I say I have a lot of sympathy towards a couple who has to go through that. It must be really, really rough every single time you hope that you might be able to get pregnant, that you might be able to have a child on your own, but then those attempts fail. And I have a lot of respect for individuals who decide that they want to adopt children. But in this case, it was just weird. It was not charming. It was just really, really weird. In another video, the couple announced that they wanted to adopt a baby.
dear future baby,
I know Bella will be the best mom you could ever imagine, and I promise I will try my best to be the best dad for you.
we've prayed for you for so long, and I will always cherish you forever. I think we're ready to adopt. I really do. Like, I'm gonna cry thinking about it, but
Oh, wait, don't cry, baby. No.
it's weird. So this month was supposed to be an exciting month. We were supposed to start our 3rd round of IVF, but it's weird because since the beginning of the month, I've had 2 vivid dreams that we're adopting a baby, and I just keep thinking about it, and it's like literally been on my mind so much. Dallin knows about it. I keep telling him, I'm like, it's weird. Like, as much as I think I want to be pregnant and stuff, like, I literally have like been thinking about this baby. For 4.5 years, this room has sat empty, and I honestly hated coming in this room because it felt like our dream of having you here was so far away.
Going through our past struggles will make bringing you into our home that much more special. I know God has a perfect plan for your life, and I'm so lucky I get to be a part of it.
Today is a big day and a step that we're really excited to take. We are calling an adoption agency. I'm sitting in your future nursery, and I cannot help but be over the moon excited for you to finally be here.
The day I hold you will be the best day of my life. I never imagined you would join our family this way, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm so grateful for your birth mom, and even though I don't know her yet, I love her.
And at the end of the video, they posted this on their massive platform with 1 million followers at that time. I don't know about you, but in Germany, where I live, that is not legal. And at least it is highly, highly unethical in my opinion. It sounds like they wanted to shortcut the adoption process and not go through an adoption agency from the start, but instead they thought it was cool to post this on social media and ask their followers to reach out if they have a baby to sell. That's what it sounds like to me. Through IGDM, someone reached out to them and said, hey, I have 2 girls, twin girls, and you can adopt them if you want. There was no adoption agency involved or anything in this process, but the couple was more than happy to document this too right from the get-go. The video twin gender reveal and matching with an expecting mom and bad news.
What she said. She said, I'm pregnant with twins and I'm looking for someone to adopt them. And that's all she said. And I'm 20 weeks, and then she just sent me a half-baked, she's holding a half-baked Ben and Jerry's. This better not be a prank. I'm sweating.
You're so funny.
What do I say, Lauren? Lauren, what do I say? You're good with words. That
Perfect. Wait, are you crazy?
she's about to text us the genders. I'm like, what if this is like literally our future kids in there? I'm in Southern. Oh.
What'd she say?
Oh my God.
What'd she say?
I'm gonna throw up right now. She just texted me. Oh my God.
Stay here. What did she say? What did she say? I'm in Southern California. Bella. She's running away from me, and I'm trying to read these messages.
She said, I'm in Southern California, and it's identical twin girls. Oh my gosh, it's like my dream.
Bella and Dallin prepped the nursery for the 2 children. They expected to adopt 2 girls. They received ultrasound pictures from the expecting mother. They told their families that they were going to adopt and it would be twin girls, and they threw a lavish gender reveal party. I mean, money is not a topic in that couple's life because she makes a lot of money because she's the co-owner of an exploitative MLM. Yeah, that makes good money. That's why they're able to live this lifestyle. then.
How? Like, I'm so, what?
I know. Yeah. I'm like, honestly, I think I'm in shock. Like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. But.
You freaking kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. But, I got a message from a girl on Instagram.
This 10-minute long video ended on a cliffhanger. Something happened. Watch part 2. I mean, are you shitting me? On a real life horrible event. A lot of the other things they showed before were already strange. The fact that you feel the urge to document every little step in your life. But okay, that's all your prerogative. But that was the moment where I lost all empathy for the couple. This is a production. That's what it is. In part 2, our adoption was a scam. They continued the story. The first part was a 10-minute YouTube video, and they were not able to wrap all of this up in that one video. The second one is about 20 minutes long, so it would have been a 30-minute video, but no, they decided to end this tragic moment, a cliffhanger, to then continue it in a second video, granting them even more views. They revealed that the expecting twin mother in that second video was never pregnant. She tricked them into believing so, and she did that with others as well.
The past 2 months, we believed that we were going to be adopting identical twin girls. We were so excited. We got everything prepared. We got our nursery ready. We have 2 car seats. And we just come to find out that it was all a big scam. And this woman was not only scamming us, but she was scamming multiple other families. And it's been really hard for us to wrap our mind around. And the biggest thing that we found out that has been really hard for us to process is this woman was never even pregnant.
It just blows my mind. We met her in person multiple times. We did birthing classes with her. Our parents even flew out there and met her. These other families met her. She met with an agency, and the whole time she had on a fake bump and was faking pregnancy. She wasn't pregnant. And I'm in shock. I'm literally in shock. I can't even process what has happened over the last 2 weeks of finding out. It's been awful, and I'm excited to share this story because the last thing I ever want to happen is another family gets scammed like this. So if you can learn from our mistakes and you can learn from what we did wrong, then I hope it can help somebody else out there.
The day that we posted our adoption video, we started getting an influx of messages of people who had leads on different people who were placing a baby for adoption. So we happened to see one message pop up that day, and she said she was placing twin girls for adoption, or twins for adoption, and we were really excited because we've always dreamed of having twins.
Yeah.
Red flag number 1, apparently twin adoptions, I didn't know this, but like are very few and far between.
Yeah.
So that could be a red flag if you are someone who is adopting. If someone says they're going to be placing twins, just be a little bit more skeptical about that because a lot of scammers use that to take advantage.
But we started talking to this female. I don't even want to call her an expecting mom because of what she did, but we started talking to this female, and the messages that she would send us and the texts that were going back and forth just seemed so perfect. And looking back, we said it a couple times, this is too good to be true, and the reality was that it was just too good. The messages that she would send us were so profound, so in depth, and so like full of love. She would say things that made us so happy and so excited that I just couldn't imagine that she was all just lying to us.
We've been talking for about 2 weeks at this point. She lives in California, which is close to us, so we said, okay, we'll fly out there and we'll meet you for lunch. So we met her for lunch, and at that lunch, she looked us in the eyes and said that she thinks we would be perfect parents for those girls, and that she wanted us to adopt them. And she basically, she had like tears in her eyes telling us this, saying how she had been praying to find people like us to adopt these babies, and that we were like a miracle for her.
Over the next couple of weeks, we continued just talking over text, and it came to a point where she kind of encouraged us to get the nursery ready completely. She said that it would make her feel more comfortable that at any time these twins could be born, because a lot of times twins come early. She said it would make her feel a lot more comfortable if we were completely ready on our end.
Which I think is so cruel to do to someone who's been struggling with infertility for 5 years. Like, that is like the most awful thing ever. And I wish we wouldn't have gotten that nursery ready, because now we have a nursery ready for twins sitting there with all the stuff.
Our main goal while talking with her was to get her to meet with our agency. We knew once she would go in person and meet with our agency, then at that point it would become just a done deal. We had talked with our agency over the phone, we had talked with our adoption consultant, and she had actually talked to our agency. She had over an hour Zoom call with a social worker at our agency. They went over the whole process of adoption. They went over different birth plans, all her different options that she has to meet with other families or to parent the kids.
Little did we know, she was kind of pushing off those appointments to meet in person, like something would always come up, but she did officially agree to go to one of those appointments, and it was within the next couple days before we actually found out what happened.
But what's so mind-blowing is the excuses she had for not going into the agency were so real and so thought after that we believed them, and we shouldn't have. I'll be the first one to admit we shouldn't have believed them, but we did. She talked about how the pregnancy was non-consensual, and that she had a lot of trauma and PTSD from that whole situation, which is real, and that is a whole other issue. And I can't even believe that she would make that up and take that story to manipulate someone like that. I think it's the most awful thing that someone could do.
Our hearts were just broken for her, like when we heard that and her telling us that, and so we were so like, we understood 100%. We're like, you know what, like, you take your time, because we know how hard this has to be for you to process all of this. Like, we're here for you and we're praying for you. We felt so hopeful going into it. We felt like, you know, we've struggled with infertility, and that was our hard trial, and surely adoption would be the happy ending to our story. And then it hasn't been, and it's just been really, really hard. And I feel, honestly, I just feel traumatized. Like, this has been very traumatic for us to go through and to navigate, and so I don't really know how to feel right now.
And this is absolutely cruel. I mean, maybe don't post on social media and ask your followers to hand you a baby because you're eager to adopt and you kind of want to bypass the normal ways that you need to go through agencies, etc. if you want to adopt a baby. But nobody, not even these two, deserves such a treatment. And if that woman did the same thing to other parents, that is absolutely horrific and is not excusable in any way, shape, or form. They had to clean out the nursery, and they gave away the items to expecting parents as well, which I think is a good step. They also had to document that, of course, but they were devastated. But in the end, there was a happy end for Bella and Dallin. In mid-2023, they were able to legally adopt a baby girl, and they also continued to document this on their channel. Now, more than ever. They got millions and millions and millions of views, and also gained a lot of subscribers, and they jumped from 1 million to over 3 million, where they are right now. They adopted a daughter, and they called her Story. She lives a very privileged life as the daughter of a rich woman, and her father, well, who is not rich, but he is there as well. He is kind of the prop to his wife. That's what I would describe him as, because he doesn't really do anything substantial or interesting. She's also not interesting either. The couple is actually quite boring in my opinion. The background story with the infertility, all of that was very likely very appealing to an audience. And now that they're having a baby and they're vlogging their baby's life, they're more interesting to the greater public. And it shows. It shows in views, and it also shows in subscribers. But they themselves and the things they do are honestly not that interesting. But she has the money as the co-owner of an exploitative company, and he's able to benefit off of that. The child, and that's a good thing that they adopted, is looked after financially. That is good. What is not good is that the girl had to trade in her privacy from the very first moment that she met her new parents. Ever since she was adopted by Bella and Dallin, she is the main topic on Della vlogs. She was not asked to do this, and she cannot consent to anything that happens with her online. Because at this point, when I'm filming, she is 1 year old. She is being exploited by her parents for views on YouTube. Family vloggers are not doing their kids a favor, because all of this, showing your children on social media, exploiting your children on social media, can be dangerous. Not only from an emotional perspective, for the emotional well-being of a child who consistently has a camera in their face, because the parents consistently need to vlog their everyday life, every aspect of their life. That's why you have a phone or a camera in your face most of the time, because you as the kid, you're the face and the content driver of that channel, because she is the main driver of that channel. And we only now start to see with older children of family vloggers what this life, this unwanted life in the public eye, can do to you as a child when you're content for your parents. What this can do to the now young adults, to the teenagers, when their entire lives, sometimes since birth, even before birth, is public knowledge. There is emotional pressure to perform for the family income. There's no privacy. All of your friends and acquaintances might know where you are, what you're doing, when you're not feeling feeling well, when you're mad, when your most vulnerable sides are exposed to the public. In addition to this emotional side, showing your children like this couple does is also physically very dangerous. Just because you occasionally post a cute picture of your child on social media, or they're in a vlog as well, that in itself I don't think is a bad thing. But if your child is the main driver of your channel, the main source of your income, and you need to exploit that to make an income, or you need to use your child for fame, as is the case here, because this couple doesn't have money problems, then that can be extremely dangerous. Bella and her husband, for example, and I will not show you these pictures because I don't want to expose that on my channel, although they regularly do that on their own. Bella and her husband show their audience, for example, where they live. They show the front of the house, the inside, also where the little daughter sleeps. I know the layout of their house and their garden just from watching their content to prepare for this video. I'm also preparing for somebody else who also kind of falls in the category of family vloggers and has a whole lot of other issues in my opinion. And I know the very same thing. You watch a handful of videos, you know where the people are living. Sometimes you even see the street address. You know the layout of the house. It is so easy to figure out where they live. Like I said, I will not show this online, but these people post that themselves willingly. That is so dangerous, to post so many private things about yourself and your child, because the internet is not a safe space. Josh from the Dad Challenge podcast exposed years ago that pedos have content lists with videos and timestamps marking where children are physically exposed. Physically by showing the kids half naked, or because of interesting stories. Interesting in a very creepy way, like potty training, period stories, buying underwear and bras, first heartache, love stories. None of these things should be known publicly. Most followers of vlogger channels are typically children because they enjoy that type of content, sometimes women, but also older men. And that is creepy. If somebody wants to find family vloggers' children, then it's not hard to do that because they post everything willingly. And Della Vlog's daughter is unfortunately no exception here. The little girl is at this point 1 year old, and she is consistently physically exposed on the World Wide Web in swimsuits because her parents, they have no real jobs, and because they have a lot of money, well, she does, thanks to the predatory MLM that made her and her family rich. I am sure that a good chunk of the family wealth also goes to the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints because, yes, of course, they're Mormons. They're family vloggers and Mormons, and the Mormon Church typically gets 1/10 of its members' income, but I'm sure that Bella still has a good amount of money left to live off because thanks to that lifestyle, the two have nothing really to do to contribute to, I don't know, humanity. They vlog their lives, offering their child on the open YouTube platform for everyone to see, to judge, to adore, while taking her privacy away from her. And they don't even need to do that for money. Not that that is ever a good excuse or a good reason to exploit your child online, or that it's acceptable because you need money. But these two, well, she and her family are rich. They don't need the YouTube money. They don't need to post on a YouTube channel with over 3 million followers. They do not need that income. The couple consistently flies through the world. They love to go to Europe and also to Asia. And they fly with their 1 year old a lot of the time. At home in Arizona specifically, and also sometimes when they're on vacation, they regularly work out. They go swimming, they go on boat rides, or they do paddle boarding or stand-up paddle boarding, or they jump off stuff. Yeah, they jump off rocks into water, and their child is always with them. She is always with them in the sun, wearing very little clothing, which I can imagine is not healthy for a baby, for a child, to be exposed to the sun for longer periods of time, especially in hot Arizona, where they live. Being exposed to the direct sunlight is never great for children for an extended period of time, but especially if you live in a sunny and in a hot climate. As I have learned from Arizona locals, two people who also upload to YouTube, Carrie Dayton, who does lifestyle and vlogs, and Savannah Marie, who also posts about anti-MLM, and those are Arizona locals. And they always say it's hot here. It's November, but it's hot. They live in a hot climate. Bella and Dallin, when they're on the move, they also mostly hold their child. They don't have a baby carrier with them many times. Recently, for example, they were in Greece, in Santorini, and walked over a very narrow rock path to get to a secret spot and jump off rocks. No, really, I'm not joking. That's what they did. And Bella held her daughter while walking over this teeny tiny pathway, rocks on the one side and water with rocks on the other side. If Bella falls or slips or drops her child, the little girl is not strapped in any device or a seat, then the kid could hit her head on the rocks, could fall into the water and severely get hurt, or even worse. Or back home in Arizona, Bella was water skiing. She was surfing there, and she and her husband are both very good at that. But she, at one instance, held her daughter while surfing. No matter how good you are at this is so dangerous yet again. If Bella falls, the child hits her head on the board or falls into the water and the adults are not there in time, it is dangerous. And this is the type of content that they show willingly. I don't even want to know what happens behind the scenes if they're willing to show us all of this. Yep. This was a story about triple exploitation. The exploitations of humans through the network marketing company Origami Owl, the exploitation of children through the company's Young Entrepreneur program to provide an income and become an entrepreneur as a child and to recruit other children into that system while most lose money, and the exploitation of a child named Story as the main character on a family vlogger's channel. This was Della Vlogs. Child exploitation on various levels, I believe, and as family vloggers, they continue to actively exploit their child story on their YouTube channel, and with Origami Owl still operating as an MLM that targets children, they do the very same thing there. I will talk more about child exploitation or family vloggers, different aspects of that in upcoming videos. So if you're interested, then consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can comment something down below. You can share the video. That helps the channel out a lot. And if you liked this video about Della Vlogs, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers!